Yo, what's good? It's your boy Big Steve, and welcome to the Haze and Blue, where we smoke and talk Michigan football. So let's get into it. So tonight, Michigan defeated New Mexico 34-17 to win their season opener, and a lot to talk about. Kind of a crazy game. Doing the research on New Mexico, basically the same team that was at Ohio, Idaho, that took Oregon to the wire. So I was kind of expecting some trick plays to happen. They happened. They capitalized on them, and they really, really made this a close game than anybody wanted to be a part of. But overall, Michigan came out with the dub, and a lot of great things to talk about this game. A lot of great things. And the first off, everybody's going to talk about Bryce Underwood is a fucking star. Bryce Underwood is a fucking star. That drive before halftime, after suffering that year that we went through last year with not being able to throw the ball at all, to see a quarterback throw the ball to that block, if anybody can talk to Bryce Underwood, don't you ever do that shit again on that block with your right fucking shoulder. My heart dropped, nigga. I was like, oh, it's over with. Don't do that. I like it. It was dope as fuck. But do not do that shit again. But the dude is a fucking star, man. He was making some plays on the run. A couple drop balls. Fred Moore, come on, man. You got to catch that. He threw a couple that was probably a little bit behind, or the one was kind of high, the good one. You got to make those passes. You got to complete those passes. Receivers, you got to make those catches. But we can just get off to it that Bryce Underwood is a star. Hopefully, the real test is going to be next week in Norman. I will be there, but back to this game. Great job at Bryce Underwood, man. Just look at some stats. 21 of 31, 251 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. The biggest thing was no interception. True freshman quarterback, you could not ask for much more. And it wasn't like they was playing not to lose. They put the ball in his hand. Overall, Chip Lindsey, first game of the season, you get a good B minus, maybe B minus. It took a while to get the running game going back again. But, man, hell of a play call and rolled him out. He moved well in the pocket. I hate that he took that hit in the fourth quarter. He got to be smart. Get rid of that ball, man. I know you're a big dude. He looked physical. It looked like he was having fun. If you saw that Bama game, or if you watched that Texas game, those quarterbacks looked shook. Granted, those teams were a lot harder than New Mexico, but for a true freshman quarterback, you cannot ask for much more. Like I say, no interceptions. Didn't run the ball, stayed in the pocket, made some passes. I was like, God damn. I don't want to put him too far ahead and say he's over JJ, but this dude, man, he was throwing some balls, bro, on the run, moving around the pocket. Bryce Underwood is a motherfucking star. The running game. We was kind of, Jordan Marshall, Justin Hayes. I think Hayes had a hell of a game. Justin Hayes, I believe, probably after the Norman game will most likely be RB1 going forward. His explosiveness, we was waiting to see it, but when he get in the open field, he's powerful as hell. Jordan Marshall kind of look like he's in the same space as Donovan Edwards, 3 to 4 yard type guy. But Justin Hayes, 16 carries, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns. Oh my God, 9.9 yards a carry. Offensive line, the interior didn't look bad. Tackles, we got problems. Coach Newsom, Your ass is on the clock. You know, it sucked. You did have a 5-star tackle go out, freshman go out. But this offensive line, we got to make some adjustments at tackle. Because, once again, Bryce Underwood did move around good in the pocket, but that was New Mexico. When we play some of these teams with good edge rushers, our tackle's going to have to play a lot better than that. They're going to have to play because Link and even the red shirt freshman right tackle wasn't that impressed. Well, I saw Frazier come in, number 77. Didn't look bad, but we have to address the tackle situation quick because Norman just on the clock right now. But receivers, Marlon Klein, really had a big game. Had a drop, 96 catches, 93 yards, and a touchdown. So Marlon Klein definitely put the college football on, on the radar that this dude's we had Colston Loveland, now we got another one. And granted, Hogan Hansen is out. You know what I'm saying? So no update on when he'll return. But the receiving core, we got to get better. I'm not sure what's going on with Donovan McCauley. For some reason, every time he caught the ball, it looked like he just kept getting up, grabbing his leg. So I'm not sure what's going on, but we going to have to address that. Channing Goodwin had the drop that was kind of high. He probably looked like our best receiver so far, to be honest. I really like Samaj Morgan and Chips Lindsey's offense. I feel he's going to get a chance to make some big plays. But Kenji Bell came up with a big catch for 30 yards. Overall, the receivers still got some questions. I think Bryce Underwood really made up for a lot of problems that Michigan might be having on offense. So shout out to Bryce Underwood. Shout out to Marlon Klein, man. Dude's a freak athlete. The receiving core, we still got some things to work on. Couple drops. Fred Moore, you got to do better, bro. You got to do better, man. I was expecting big things out of you. Defense. Like I say, corner. Hill. We got to address Jair Hill. You cannot be the number one corner looking like that. But defense overall, that defense was fucking blazing, man. That secondary, TJ Metcalf. I was like, who the fuck is number 7? TJ Metcalf is going to be a problem. Fucking Brady Hillman. He started off the game hitting motherfuckers. Brady Hillman's going to be a beast. Cole Sullivan came into the game, got an interception. Mason Curtis. He's somebody I've been speaking on, over time. He's going to be a beast. This secondary is young. We definitely need to address the corner situation. Like I said, Jair, it was just 1 or 2 plays definitely where it looked like he just wasn't comfortable out there in space by himself. Getting beat by a tight end who, for some reason, just like McCauley, every time they showed him he's acting hurt, but then he's moving and catching touchdowns and shit. So defense, really not too much to say, but I am disappointed in the way that Sherrod Moore, and I'll just say this, the defense is loaded. Like, it's players in every position, except for cornerback 1. Zeke Berry has some penalties as well, I believe. He was in the right place sometimes, but we definitely, if I had to point out a weak link so far, it would be the outside corners. But D-line looked good. Once again, knowing the offense that basically was at Idaho last year, they're going to run trick plays. They got us on a couple, but overall, the defense looked fast. They was moving to the ball. D-line was getting pressure. TJ Guy made big interception. I would like to see more from the edges, but I did like what I saw at backup with Dominique Nichols. Who were some other guys I saw? Anetta, Damian Payne. The whole defense is played good. I say even when they got us in the red zone, it was penalties. They had like 9 plays inside the 5 yards each time. When you're doing that, you're gonna fall for a trick play or just give up a touchdown sometimes. But overall, defense is loaded. Defense is fucking loaded. Not too much to talk about on the defense side of the ball outside the hit that raised Jay Sean Barham, what the fuck his name is. I gotta see, can I find that, man? Okay, here we go. This the fucking hit, man. And Sherrod Moore, you have to do a better job at arguing these calls. It was a third down with a play. It reminded me of the fucking Oregon game last year where the receiver dropped the ball, but Sherrod Moore just too cool. He's not calling timeout. No matter what, he's on the sideline like, that's him. But damn, but this play right here, what do you want him to do? What the fuck do they want Barham to do? I was thinking no fucking way that they was going to call that. I wasn't even thinking about targeting. I was thinking there's no fucking way they were going to call that a fucking targeting. I was thinking roughing the passer at best. Man, this dude Barham is a beast around the ball. He can't keep his head up where shit in coverage, but this dip the shoulder. Man, he's a fucking beast. Hopefully, it's a way they can challenge that and get that targeting reversed because we're gonna need him in Norman. If he just a big ass dude. He just a big ass dude. Ain't none of, if he go low and the quarterback duck his head down and he it's nothing he can. That's a horrible call. Man, he came off that motherfucking edge. It was holding on TJ. They held TJ got an offset. Oh, I've never been the one to cry conspiracy. But Michigan gonna have a target on their back for the rest of the fucking year. The NCAA ain't forget that shit. But right after this fucking hit, man, right after that hit, this play pissed me off right here. Cause I'm like, why the fuck Sherrod Moore never challenges calls? Like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? It's clearly they should have been calling timeout, something. This is a game changer. Sherrod Moore, you too fucking cool, bro. That's one of my takes on Sherrod Moore. You too fucking cool, bro. To see them get that motherfucking playoff and you just still standing on the sideline, it reminded me of Oregon. Now, unlike Rich Rod, not to bring up old shit, Michigan got behind you more. Coach Moore, you gotta come on now, bro. You gotta challenge some of these calls, man. Because like I said, that game against Oregon last year turned that same way, but that defense is flying, bro. Jimmy Roder, that defense is loaded, bro. So So very, very impressed with the defense. Still got a lot of things to work on. Corner is one of them. Like to see a little more consistent out of Derek Moore. He gonna have to step up. It's his year. It's his year. And the fact that we're so loaded on the edge, because Cameron Bennett was back there. We had some players off that edge. It's crazy, man. Like I say, who else is back there? Nate Marshall. Nate Marshall, along with motherfucking Bennett. Michigan has some DNU right now. We definitely got some edge players for now and the future. So very excited about this team, man. So once again, defense stepped up. Holding New Mexico to just 50 yards rushing, that was big. Because New Mexico want to run the ball. They're a team that like to run trick plays and run the ball. So taking that away from them, they got some yards on some trick plays in the receiving game. But overall, great fucking performance. 3 interceptions, a couple sacks, couple young players got some real meaningful snaps. So very excited to look and see how this team is going to look next week. Hopefully the shit with Burham get overturned. I don't know how that process go. Sherrod Moore, you got to get more aggressive on that sideline. I'm not saying you got to be Jim Harbaugh. I'm just saying you got to put up more of a fight, bro. Help your team out, man. Because just like Oregon last year, that play could have changed the whole fucking game on that third down with him sliding out of bounds like that, bobbling that ball. No diddy. So, once again, Michigan defeats New Mexico 34-17. A lot to look forward to. Bryce Underwood is a motherfucking star. Bryce Underwood is a star. 21, 31, 251. Hopefully, I'm not jinxing him a touchdown. Justin Hayes had a breakout fucking game. 16 carries, 159 yards. Marlon Klein almost broke 100 receiving yards, so that's dope. 6 catches, a touchdown. Couple things we got to look forward to, but cornerback 1 and receiving, the receivers got to do a better job. They got to do a better job. Once again, Bryce Underwood made up for a lot of the issues we probably have, but next game in Norman, we're going to have to see some 50-50 jump balls. We got to find out if McCauley is fucking hurt. If he's hurt, put the freshman in. Let's get some balls downfield, some jump balls. Put these DBs where they have to cover. Because believe it, OU's coming to pass that motherfucking ball. So we got to match their motherfucking energy. But overall, great fucking game today. Got to clean up the penalties. Got to capitalize in the running game. Got left to tackle, the tackle position, the cornerback 1, and also I would have to say the receivers and some things that we're going to have to clean up before next week. But overall was very pleased. Offensive coordinator Tim Lindsay did a great job of putting Bryce Underwood in some good situations. The defense, Wink Mendale did a great job of calling some pressure. Some corners and safeties was able to come on some blitz. Overall, great performance. On to motherfucking Norman. Other than that, go motherfucking blue.